Namaste to all light warriors, workers, and everything in between. It is I, Sophie, today, and Rut Row. I know y'all hate to hear that, right? But trust me, whether it comes across harsh or whether it comes across soft, whether it comes across agreeable or whether it comes across disagreeable, the truth of the matter is when I go and do a Rut Row moment, it is still designed to edify you one way or the other. You'll either love it or hate it. But it doesn't matter what the emotional appeal is, does it? Truth is truth. So therefore, we simply learn to either accept it or reject it. But make no mistakes, your emotional responses will never change what it is here, what it is that I am here to do and get accomplished. All right? So I want to start with something weighing very heavily on me since last night and first thing this morning. This one goes out to the beautiful people, okay? The flawless people, the beautiful women, the beautiful men, the plastics. You, of all people, better be very, very cautious on who it is that you are listening to. All right? There may have been star seeds and sun seeds who integrated in this realm to assist humanity in their evolutionary growth. There are also star seeds and sun seeds who are here to clean out karma so that they can finally ascend through cycles. Okay? But let's not forget that there are also those who have incarnated here to stop you. All right? And yes, they can be considered star seeds too. But it does not mean that they are agreeable with your purpose. Too many times I have sat back and listened to people talk to me about their twin flame journeys and how they are living in bondage and in hell and how it was designed so that they could teach one another and that it is a struggle. And then they have these runners and chasers and all of this propaganda that did not exist. And I have a question for you. Since when was God the author of confusion? If we are teaching the doctrine of unconditional love, but you're not experiencing unconditional love in your unions and in your relationships, then what spirit is actually directing you? Don't get me wrong. All relationships have their ups and downs, their battles, their fights. But there are those with a hidden agenda to connect people for a specific reason, and that reason is not being disclosed to you. And this is when we learn to identify with self and the divine. Be very careful of people who play matchmaker with your soul. Be very careful of people who are false tower or tarot readers and always pushing an agenda for you to be with a specific person, as opposed to allowing you to be yourself and pick your own truth. No being of the light that teaches free will simultaneously force you into unions. Watch and pay attention to the conundrums, the contradictions, the hypocrisy. The truth of the matter is, real, divine soul unions are a threat to those of the false light. Some of you who are beautiful people are being used for your beauty to push and further an agenda. You must decide. You are not a puppet. Source has never called us to be puppets. Therefore, figure out who the puppet masters are. Your Bashert partners. Your true twin flames share the same soul as you. So if you're sharing a soul, if you're sharing a consciousness, but you and your partner aren't evolving together, aren't growing together, or one's in light and one's in dark, then you're divided against yourself. It's asinine. It will not last. Relationships that are designed to develop you and teach you are not twin flame relationships. These are the karmic relationships designed to teach you before you actually get to your twin flame. You should not be at odds in two different paths with one soul. If the case is that starts to happen with a true twin flame, and one starts going into darkness and the other is going into light, that twin flame is no longer your partner. Each individual soul is assigned a partner according to their own growth and their merits. This is what's called being equally yoked. But you do not have a twin flame partner that is unequally yoked with you. God has not called us to burdens. Who are you to do binding spells and love spells on another in an effort to control someone else to be in union with you? First of all, you should be asking yourself, why do I need to force love? And more importantly, why do I need to force somebody who don't love me to be with me? That's a self-worth issue. Do you understand me? If you are forcing someone to love you, that's a self-worth issue. You don't feel deserving to find a love? And what person would want to settle for a half-ass relationship? Who? Not Sophie. And neither should any of you. I have encountered the fifth male come to me with the same exact story of how they became tempted, about how the community pushed them, into union with a partner, saying that the divine said that they were twin flames and they're supposed to be together. And ever since they got there, everything was going crazy, downward. And they were dragging their souls right along with them. And they stayed in these relationships because they thought that this was what they were supposed to do. Since when do you put the opinions of others before your own spirit, soul, and the divine? The truth of the matter is, if you were so confident that your journey was the true love of your life, you wouldn't be inquiring about it. These entities that are masking around as the light that is teaching free will and yet manipulating it, that is teaching sovereign divinity but yet have not achieved it themselves, that is teaching lawlessness and can't even live in righteousness, that is forcing relationships off of spell work. First of all, it's really silly to do. Love is authentic and it can never be duplicated. What your spell work, love spells and binding spells, especially the love spells, what your love spells actually bring into your existence is infatuation and lust. And because you're not spiritually mature enough, or emotionally mature enough, or mentally mature enough, you mistake this counterfeit for the real thing of unconditional love. And by the time you realize that this is not working for you, it's too late. Your soul is already wrapped up in it. And now you got to fight your way out of it. It is unfortunate that you're still playing children's games with people's sovereign divinity and believe that it's not going to bite you in the tail. Oh, it will. Because the one thing that can break free will, the one thing that can break love spells is true love. And the moment the soul encounters true love, your spells are broken and you are done. Masculines, I am talking to you now. And feminines, I'll get to you a little bit later. The divine feminine energy is floating all through this world. We lead with the heart space, yes. We believe in unconditional love, yes. Expansion, beauty, splendor, balance, justice, harmony, all of that. You were supposed to learn what you need to learn from the wisdom of the divine feminine without embodying her. Let me repeat that. You're supposed to learn the wisdom of the divine feminine without becoming her. You're still not supposed to think like her. Do you understand me? When we say we lead from the heart space, we're dealing with humanity, everything around us. But masculines, you need to be more balanced in this. Your principle is the logic and the reasoning. You cannot function thoroughly through the heart space and solely on the heart space because you, masculines, are too easily manipulated. History has taught us this over and over and over and over again. So you must use your logic and reasoning when it comes down to these things. Emotions can be manipulated. Truth cannot. Feelings can be manipulated. Facts cannot. Even the heart at times can be manipulated. But truth will always remain. Be careful of people around you pushing you this way, that way, to do this, to do that. And instead, start asking yourself, what do they have to gain if I go down this path? And what do I have to lose? Divine Masculine, you are called to a higher level of understanding now. You can no longer sit around and play games, silly rabbits. Tricks are for kids. You who are supposed to be developing right now to become these strong leaders and emperors cannot allow yourself to be emotionally manipulated because you're following after the woman to the point where you're losing yourself. The woman has her roles to play, but so do you. And you're supposed to balance. Those who play with fire eventually get burned. And the divine says, who are you to manipulate and play around with my time and my destiny? Who are you? I know what some of you call yourselves. Some of you call yourself the 144,000. Some of you call yourself the chosen ones. Some of you call yourself starseeds and Atlanteans and all of this stuff. But when I go past the titles and the names, I see the same damn spirit. I don't care what you call yourself. And I don't care who believes you. And while some are here to awaken humanity and free humanity, I am here to awaken my family and free them. In this world of duality, where you're always presented with only two choices, and you still haven't figured out how to discern through both of these and get to the highest path, then you're continually finding yourself in a tug of war, denying your own essence, denying what you know is right so that you can please other people. Do these other people hold the key to your evolution? Divine Feminines, the same applies to you. Be careful of those who want to elevate you and put you on a pedestal because of your beauty. Truly, these are your handlers, yes. If every decision that you have to make for yourself has to go through the approval of people, then you're not sovereign. You're not independent. You are a puppet as well. This fake world will people glamorize and uplift and uphold foolery over authenticity. It disappoints me to watch you fall in these type of traps. But congratulations to many of you who woke up, feminines and masculines, to your own truth. Even while everybody was telling you that you were wrong. In the end, when you're ready to ascend, are you going to be able to say, I did the best I could. I lived my authentic truth. Or will you be dragged to a lower timeline and then playing the blame game? There are those of us who are not popular, who are not big, who is a small voice in the wilderness, who have come here to wake you up. This earth was given to humanity. This earth was designed so that humans could continually grow, evolve to higher states of civilizations. The natural process takes a lot longer than what people are trying to push. You push an unevolved species to a higher level of knowledge, you end up with chaos. So the evolutionary journey was supposed to be natural, and some are going to move faster than others. But when you have some who seek to understand these things, enter into your home, change the rules to fit what? Their own agendas. Why aren't you asking yourself, why? What's in it for them? The truth of the matter is, there are beings who really don't believe that humanity should exist. After all, they've been violent, right? A violent species, but that behavior was learned. Therefore, there's innocence. So we deal with the energies behind the behavior and not the behavior itself. That's a higher level of wisdom for you, a higher level of understanding. Be careful of people seeking to control your destiny. The divine may give outsiders glimpses of who you are, pieces of who you are, but the only one who will always know 100% without a shadow of a doubt of who you are is you, and that is a personal relationship with the divine that others will not be able to see. And for those who can see the greatness or the potential behind it, they're going to seek to control it. Why? If you are one that is doing spell work and love spells to try to trap a union, it's sad, because what it speaks is that you don't love yourself enough to think you can do better or get your own blessings. You're feeling like you're not worthy enough to be loved genuinely and authentically. Therefore, you're trying to seek and control the destiny of someone else. There was a reason why people stayed away from certain witchcraft. or dark arts and magic. It's one thing to use your power to protect or to heal or to counsel. And there's something else to use your power to manipulate timelines, manipulate outcomes, circumstances, and relationships. Everything about that goes against free will. Trust me when I say those of you who think you are hidden are really exposed. You might not be exposed to everyone, but those with eyes to see and ears to hear, we know you. We want you to stop this behavior. Because everyone deserves genuine, pure, authentic love. Love spells don't last. And what ends up happening is, once the party wakes up from it, or recognizes the binding spells that was done, what you now receive is resentment. How's that for a beautiful union? To be in a relationship with someone who secretly resents you because they know what you are doing. And then the moment their soulmate enters in, you get jealous. You can't control it because you cannot stop the plans of the divine and the contracts. You cannot stop a true twin flame journey from manifesting. They will always be drawn to each other. They are sharing a consciousness. I don't care what you're teaching. It doesn't even make sense. Twin flames are here to fight with each other and hate each other so that each other can grow and teach lessons. And we're supposed to fight and be in toxic relationships and unions. And if this is hurtful, that's only part of the journey. And you'll keep on in that pattern until your soul is drawn to hell. And I'm not talking about literally. I'm talking about the reality that you're creating for yourself. We're called to peace, harmony, love, authenticity, balance, union. If your twin flame is in opposition to you, competing with you, jealous of you, fighting with you, toxic towards you, then this is the time that you are supposed to balance what you think you feel here with here. And you have to love yourself enough to know that it isn't worth it. You have to love yourself enough to know that this relationship is hindering your own growth. Males and females. And don't come to me saying I'm in a twin flame journey and they're scratching my face, choking me. They're keying my car. They're sleeping around. Because this is the stories that I'm hearing. They're sleeping around. They won't grow. They're refusing to grow. But I'm supposed to be with this person. How do you know? Oh, because the numbers said it. Because the tarot reader said it. Because the community is pushing it. Because my family said it. And each and every day, your soul is tormented. When are you going to grow up? How long is it going to take you to realize that there are other agendas manipulating your life. Divine feminines, stop keeping up, lowering yourself, descending to be with somebody that is not giving you what you naturally and rightfully deserve. The age of settling is over. If you're in empress status, find an emperor. If you're in queen status, find a king. Do you understand? But if you're in empress status and you've connected yourself with a joker, the joke's on you. Too many delusions being floating around during this time. Trust me, we were warned about it. Remember, we was told that in the last days, people would be flying with every wind of doctrines, listening to doctrines of starseeds? No. Doctrines of the 144,000. No, that can't be it. Doctrines of the chosen ones. No, that's not it. Doctrines of the grace? No, doctrines of devils. That was it. I'm sure. And you can hate God and you can hate the Bible all you want, but you cannot deny its authenticity and what you are experiencing at this moment. The beautiful people, the beautiful people, the beautiful people, the beautiful people. Choose this day what you will believe in, what you will allow, what you will not allow, and take your power back. Heal yourself. Cleanse yourself. And if it was meant to be, it'll be. Because, like I said before, real unions are always drawn back to one another. But if it was not meant to be okay with letting it go. And be okay with standing on your own. I'd rather stand on my own than live in any type of bondage or misery. And you are a fool if you don't think the same. True chosen ones, get out of this doctrine. Get away from the naysayers. Get away from the hypocrites. Get away from the false lights, the spell casters, the free will manipulators, the dark magic. Because these people are getting ready to destroy themselves if they haven't already started that process. And this 2022 is going to be hell for them. And you have to make up your mind on whether or not you're going to partner in that hell. Meanwhile, those of us who have worked and is manifesting peace and love and harmony and arts and music and this beautiful, fair, and balanced world, that's what we're going to experience. We're not going to be the same, and we're not going to be on the same timeline, and we're not going to have the same experiences. Remember, you're the author of your own confusion. The Creator said, I am not the author of confusion. You threw out the baby with the bathwater. You missed the jewels. I am Sophie. I love you all. Bye.